Gabba the game night, Gabba the game night, Gabba the game night, yay!
Hey, it's Gabba TGK here, and we are back playing some more, things like it's Man Visi. He is the one playing, and it's February 25th, 1206, District Code for Army number 2, and it's Trial Ladder.
Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get you in trouble.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
This is my problem, not yours.
Yep, gotcha. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals.
You are. We're about to kiss.
Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. I mean, unless I can get on some of that action. Wobbly H, anyone? Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what's the Wobbly H? You got a lot of nerve, pal. Making a detective run all around while on duty? And to top it off, you call me here? I've seen happier people at funerals. I take it Lana's having you run errands again. Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal.
Yes.
Here, she asked me to give this to you if there was a break in today's trial. Evidence law. Edgeworth was talking about this just the other day.
This will be relevant one time in the entire case.
You must know the two rules of evidence law.
You must know the two rules of evidence law.
You must know the two rules.
You must know the two
evidence
rules
law.
of evidence law.
You must know the
You
two
must know the two rules of evidence law.
Evidence law.
Man, it's echoing in my head. You must know the two rules of evidence law.
Rule number 1.
Rule number 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police
Department of Evidence of...
Is that right, Mr. Wright?
It seems so. Couldn't we study some evidence law? Really? And Mikey's chiming in. It's a trio. Chief Prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message. A message? Maybe it was a massage. I'm not sure. Well, I'll start with the message. She said, if you're planning to take him on...
Him from Powerpuff Girls?
You're going to need this book. Him.
I watch Powerpuff Girls.
I guess I'll need to give this book a thorough read.
It's one page. It's two rules. It's one page.
Doesn't look like that book will do you any good now, though. All that's left now is the Chief Prosecutor's sentence. That's where you're wrong, Detective. Huh?
Haven't you figured it out yet, you dumbass? Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat? Despite all these allegations being thrown at me.
Mr. Edgeworth.
The real trial today hasn't begun yet.
What? What else is there left to do? Your credibility's been all but ruined with this forged evidence you were aware of, or unaware of. Emma Skye found out she's unwittingly caused a man's death, and now you're telling me you want to do more? You gotta be kidding me, pal. You're missing the point, Detective. Alana didn't murder Detective Goodman. She merely stuck a knife into his dead body. That means the real killer is still out there. What? And we're going to expose him.
Him.
No matter what it takes.
We're just saying him, as if there's still a reveal.
This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end.
It's time for the final showdown. February 25th, 1252, District Code number 9. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. The Inquiry Committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions. Thank you for the news, Your Honor. Yes, well, normally this is where the prosecution calls forth a witness. But, this isn't easy to say. You see, there is some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, may have, struck a bargain. You think I may have manipulated the witnesses? No, I didn't say that. It's just, you see, everyone has been talking and... Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution. A solution? That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses. What? But there's no precedent for what we're proposing. Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses.
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say?
Yes, that sounds good.
Unbelievable. Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Very well. The defense accepts the prosecution's proposal.
And now you're married.
Then it's settled. The defense may now call forth the next witness.
Mr. Wright, you do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over. Oh God, oh God, I wasn't prepared.
The defense calls. Time's finally come to bring out the real murderer.
Oh God, okay. Oh, the real murderer. Oh yeah, okay, that's easy.
I have to present them?
Yes. They're in your pocket. a mini Gant in your pocket.
Damon Gant. The defense calls Damon Gant to the stand.
Damon Gant? What does he have to do with anything?
As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it.
As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor?
True. All right, bailiff, please escort Mr. Gant to the stand.
Witness, please state your name and occupation.
Was this some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch.
Your name and occupation, sir.
Worthy, are you sure you want to do this?
Your name and occupation.
So, you want to play hardball, eh? Please, Mr. Gant. Fine. My name is Damon Gant, and I'm the Chief of Police.
Acting Chief of Police.
Acting Chief of Police. Yes, I like to act.
Now then, Chief Gant, the court requests to hear your testimony.
Oh, Righto, what's with the grim face?
First, let's clear up this SL9 incident.
Oh, you mean that time when Lana's sister murdered that prosecutor? Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already.
There are still some things unaccounted for.
Oh, like what?
Like the role you played in all of this.
Son, either you're very brave, or very foolish. You're aware, of course, that a police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal.
Weapons?
Sure, take my testimony, for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to.
What? Is that true?
I'm afraid so. The Chief of Police has the right to refuse to testify.
I don't think that's really true.
Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks.
Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you. Very well. The witness may now begin his testimony.
Still an iron incident.
As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. Is that when Doc was arrested? Him? He was lying on the floor unconscious. Stabby stab. When Emma sent Neil flying, it seems Doc bumped his head. I see. Everything's pretty clear-cut.
If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify, then I'd better hit him hard and fast.
Still an iron incident.
This is a game I'd really like that one-handed controller for.
Yeah.
As I recall, a ceremony was held at the police department that day.
Yes, that's right. I guess you could say I'm a workaholic. After doing as it would, Neil was all fired up too.
Does everybody in this world just have one outfit?
Yes. And that's probably what spooked Doc and made him run away like that.
Was the defendant, Lana Skye, also present in the room?
I don't quite remember. At the very least, she wasn't there when Doc ran for it.
So the two of you ran immediately after him, right?
Yeah, we are, for coffee first. That's right, but Doc made it to the elevator first. So Neil and I split up. He went upstairs and I went downstairs, I guess you could say. He got lucky.
What's this about a power outage?
Oh, that. The elevator stopped all of a sudden. I got the shock of my life. Well, probably not as shocked as Neil, as Neil was when that knife went into his heart, though.
Wow.
That's not funny. Could you tell us what you saw?
It was a shocking sight. Neil and that serial killer were lying in a heap on the floor, all tangled together.
Dark was also lying collapsed on the floor?
Yes, apparently his head was knocked out. Next to them were those two poor girls.
Lana and Emma.
Lana was cradling Emma in her arms. Looking back at it now, she must have already known what her sister had done.
How can you know that?
Because of the victim's body. It had already been moved.
So that means... you found the body near Lana's desk.
That's right. I think you said earlier, it was my suit of armor that really stabbed the prosecutor.
Yes.
Anyway.
So you're saying that the forgery had already taken place by the time you arrived at your office?
And that's exactly what I'm saying. I can understand how Lana must have felt. Removing a body and hiding evidence are inexcusable, no matter what the circumstances. I can speak well, trust me.
Is that how it really went down?
Staring at the witness won't do you any good, Mr. Wright. If you're going to stare at anything, you'd be better off staring at the court record, which you can press the R button on your Nintendo Switch controller to use.
Worthy, always the smooth talker.
But which piece of evidence ties Gant to the forgery? Lana did admit to forging evidence. That can't be the whole truth. Somehow I've got to link Gant to the incident.
Okay, but how?
Alright. Court record.
Don't press X.
Our health is refilled, but don't press X.
I think this might be it. I think it might finally be time.
Look, the screw. Does it have like a badge holder on it that screws into? I don't understand how.
Or maybe it...
Maybe like there's something that screws on the back.
Yeah,
like,
but that's so weird. We should put it like through a buttonhole or something?
I guess.
Okay, anyway.
I don't know.
Oh, I didn't mean to click that. Okay, getting serious now.
Okay.
Well, first off, we should probably check this out since we got this.
Our book.
Rules for submitting evidence. Rule number 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Rule number 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial.
That's used for one time, ever. In this entire case. And in the entire series. We could present the base. We found a...
Mm-hmm.
Or the card thing, potentially.
Well, I guess it won't be that, since I'm keeping that information on myself.
We found the vase in his safe.
Didn't we find the other half of this in his safe or his desk, too? So what am I trying to present exactly? Just what ties him into the forgery, right?
Yeah, so I mean, either one of those would probably work, but you probably gotta change which text box you're on. Actually, no, you found the other half of the evidence list at his desk.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so you found...
It was still his desk.
True.
He still had it when he shouldn't have.
Yeah, probably. The vase feels like the safer option.
We've already used that before, though.
It also says found in Chief Gant's safe in the description, which does matter.
The final fragment was it, not the whole vase.
Yeah.
You claim you had nothing to do with the forgery. But I'm afraid that is a claim you cannot back up.
Explain yourself.
Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this jar, for example.
That's the blue badger you showed us earlier.
A piece of this jar was discovered in your safe. Not only that, but the evidence list I presented earlier was actually found inside your desk.
It was found where?
You see, Chief Gant, these articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played a part in an illegal investigation.
Chief Gant, what's the meaning of this?
Huh. Here's a defense attorney who may even rival Worthy.
So you admit to it then, that you were involved in the forgery?
Who, me? Or do you mean you?
Me? Why would I have anything to do with that?
Well, you were the one who snuck into my office and you found this evidence. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorneys can do so too. Isn't that right, Righto?
However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation.
Worthy, my boy. Not even detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured, Dick will receive his due punishment.
What? Detective Gumshoe's name is Dick? If Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying to work.
Wasn't he fired? Yes, well, in light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office, and the relation to the forgery that took place at the crime scene.
My. Kids these days no longer know how to put two and two together.
Almost went to a little doof there.
Ah, Phoenix the Platypus. Let's see, what was it now? A jar fragment and a list? For all I know, you could have planned them in my office. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. If they are found after Doc was convicted, then they're worthless. There's no reason I participate in forgery. Rearranging the crime scene won't help me out in any way.
Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
When investigating the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol.
You do understand I'm the chief of police, right? And there will be consequences.
Ooh.
Indeed, I believe I'll press charges so you won't make the same mistake again.
My apologies, Chief, but would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today is, well, you know.
Alright, Dudgy, in return though.
I know. That place, right?
Huh? What are these guys? Telepathic?
Okay then. I'm not even a gardener. How would I plant anything?
I'd appreciate it if you'd stop making these ridiculous allegations.
Yes, you do have a point. You wouldn't have the guts to do something like that.
What? I'll have you know, back in the day, I once broke into a cattle ranch and
Mr. Wright, what are you saying?
Anyway, you can't prove you didn't carry in the evidence, can you? If you have proof to the contrary, you're going to need it later.
Later? What are you talking about?
What else? I'm talking about when Wright's prints are found. Yes, if they're found inside my safe, they would prove his investigation was illegal.
Never faced anyone as slimy as this guy.
Look, my investigation may have been illegal, but you're a murderer, so...
What do you mean by that?
This is all purely hypothetical, of course. But suppose I did place those arms in my safe. Such an act wouldn't necessarily constitute forgery. I can speak.
If concealing evidence found at a crime scene isn't forgery...
I'm not through speaking yet, Righto. It all depends on when the evidence was discovered.
Are you saying this jar fragment wasn't discovered in the initial investigation?
It would appear not. After all, it wasn't listed in the evidence list. For all we know, it could have suddenly materialized the day after Doc was sentenced.
Oh, and wouldn't that be convenient?
What? The chief is talking about a possibility, so long as you can't rule that out. Your remarks, however clever they may be, will only succeed in wasting time.
Tell me something I don't know.
Come now, Righto. And think about it.
How can you look me in the eye and say that?
Because I'm innocent. Remember? Who was it that murdered Neo?
I'm not sure I care for the word murder here. But in the end, the person responsible for Mr. Marshall's unfortunate demise was Emma Skye.
Well, now do you see?
Really, Chief Gant? At the very least, there is one very large benefit you've reaped from all this.
Oh, I wasn't aware. What is this benefit?
That would, of course, be the position you have. Chief of Police.
Oh!
The resolution of the SL9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That in itself is sufficient motive.
Oh, that's a good one.
Huh?
Do you really think I'm that incompetent?
What do you mean?
Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution of SL9 merely sped up the inevitable a little bit.
Is that true, Edgeworth?
Yes. He was going to be made chief anyway.
Ugh.
Be careful when you're pointing that finger. He might wind up being the one pointed at.
So that means there's only one possible motivation for you to commit forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, then you did it for someone else.
Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. There, it's out in the open now. Would you mind if I change my testimony a little?
By all means, please do.
I wouldn't be anyone's accomplice if it was
Accomplice.
Accomplice. Feels like I said it wrong. Accomplice. If there was nothing in it for me.
Nothing in it for you.
Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. That girl, Lana's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, you'd better think again.
You're right. You don't feel sorry for anyone.
Be tough on crime and tough on people, and that's how I was raised.
You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though.
Ha ha ha! Oh, that's a good one, Worthy.
Could there have been something in it for him? Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out? I mean, the only thing I can think of is he would have helped Lana out just so he could use her later. So he'd have something on her.
Yeah.
I don't see any really strong connection to anybody else like he would help them.
Yeah.
For their benefit, anyway.
As you said, he does not give a shit about other people unless something benefits him.
True, you might not help out anyone for their sake. I believe I just said that. But if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone.
Yes, that's what I just said.
Mr. Wright, it appears you're positively determined to betray the chief. As a nice man who likes to lend people a hand.
That's not what I mean.
Very well then. Who is this person you believe Chief Gant may have helped forge evidence? I fucking wonder who.
Yeah, this seems like a weird step.
There's a total of 5 people here. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye, the defendant?
Duh. I believe it's quite obvious in light of the circumstances. Emma Skye fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Who would want to help her more than her own sister, Lana? And as for Chief Gant, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit.
Self-profit? What do you mean?
After the SL9 incident was resolved, Lana Skye was appointed Chief Prosecutor at the Prosecutor's Office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Gant.
But how would he profit from all of this? He would be able to use the Chief Prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations. Do you mean to tell me that despite the Chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets?
How's this guy that judge in all these cases?
Oh, wait. You must mean puppet and then someone forced to do his bidding. Never mind.
Admit it, Chief. You assisted Lana Skye in forging evidence. Your motive to appoint her as Chief Prosecutor so you could control her.
Wright, oh my boy, you have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something.
What?
Do you have any proof of this, that I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing?
Lana. She's keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'd testify against Gant. I mean, it's kind of all in the open now.
Yeah.
I'm afraid without any proof, this all amounts to nothing more than mere conjecture. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot.
Nothing is going to get better. It's not.
That's also what happened in this incident. This incident? Which one would that be? There's 17 of them. Of course I'm talking about the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The Chief Prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone has been controlling her.
Worthy, you'd better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt.
What do you mean?
What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, But the chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement.
What? Order! I said order! Mr. Wright, you can't be serious.
Huh?
There's an affront to the highest ranking officer in our law enforcement agency. To accuse the chief of police of blackmail and murder? That's, impossible.
Your Honor, I was merely reiterating what Mr. Edgeworth said in easier to understand language.
It's too late, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back for us now.
Looks like he's the one who's decided to go through with this.
Can you prove this, Mr. Wright? That the chief, a high-ranking officer of the law, is involved in this murder?
Good question.
Very potentially. Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Gant is just a man. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell if you press R to look at your court record. I see. Alright then. Let's see what Mr. Wright's got, and better be good. Just this evidence that ties Chief Gant to the murder of Detective Goodman. I think I know what it is.
Is it the ID card record? No. Because that would only put him where Goodman was actually murdered.
Yeah. I mean, it could be the ID card.
Is that really a halberd? It's more of a sword. A halberd's like a spear.
Yeah.
Sorry to get distracted.
Halberd.
Oh, I know what it is, clearly.
And a halberd acts like that axe spear thing.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So anyway, what did you think it was?
I think it's... do you want me to tell you what I think it is?
I guess let me look. I mean... it's the screwdriver, obviously. It is?
It might be. That's what I'm thinking. Read the description of it.
Evidence from a past case of Edgeworth's brought back to his office by Chief Gant's request.
Think about it.
Did they bring it there so Edgeworth would be... Okay. I guess, maybe.
Where was the body found?
Yes, I know where the body was found. I don't know.
That's all I got. If it's not that, I don't know.
Well, it wouldn't be my first choice, but I feel like it has to be useful at some point.
It's either that or the ID card thing again. But we don't have...
But the ID card only puts him in the evidence room.
Yeah, and we don't have any strict evidence that's his ID card without saying, oh yeah, we broke into a safe. And even then, they could argue it's coincidence. Like, oh yeah, I have to keep my safe number.
They can get his ID with like a warrant or something, Edgeworth said.
Well, yeah.
He didn't say that because they don't have real law terms in this game, but...
But this is the last day of the trial, so we ain't got time. Well, Chief? So long as Wright over here is tossing out things regardless of the relevance. Mind if I toss something too, Chief? This shoe should do nicely. I'll chuck it right at you. You always were quite the joker, weren't you? That not good?
Looks like I got it wrong.
Don't oops me. Maybe this boot to that lots of sense into you. Fuck, I don't know what it is. I know it's hard with all that's gone on during this trial. But try to think back to what happened in the evidence room 4 days ago. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. What?
Now that he mentioned it, we did find something during yesterday's investigation.
What did we find?
Something that proves Gant entered that room.
Oh, was it the ID card thing? Looks like he wants another one of your boots, G. I see. Alright then. Let's see what Mr. White's got, and it better be good. Just this evidence that ties Chief Gant to the murder Detective Goodman. I mean, did we find anything else that would connect? Yes, that would connect?
Yeah, other than the ID card thing.
Well, nothing that would actually put him in the room.
Yeah. I mean, we found some more handprints and shit, but didn't find the handprints, just warned about the handprints.
That was for you.
Fuck you.
I wish you would play the music, too.
No.
Okay, where...
It's on the previous page. Near the screwdriver.
This is the ID card list.
Yes, the one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID on the list we couldn't determine the owner of yesterday. 777-7777.
Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that's my card number.
It's your number.
What? How do you know that?
Because I broke into his office.
The safe in Chief Gant's office requires a code to open. A 7-digit code.
7 digits? You don't mean?
I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was 777-7777. The same as the remaining ID card number on that list. Chief Gant, you entered the evidence room on the day of the crime.
Order, order! Chief Gant, what do you have to say?
Nothing. The defense's search of my office was in violation of regulations.
Now demand Mr. Wright be punished to the maximum extent of the law. But right now, this court demands an explanation from you about the use of this ID card. Chief Gant, so you admit it? You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime?
What about it? I'm chief of police, whether it's the evidence room or the bathroom. What's the difference? I can go anywhere I want.
Tell me, when you entered the room, were you alone?
I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do with the evidence room.
Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with you that day, would he?
Of course not. Why would he be? I hadn't seen him in days.
You hadn't seen him in days? Chief Gant, I'm afraid you've just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have met with Detective Goodman.
What do you mean? This trial's purpose is to determine Lana Sky's guilt. No, it isn't, Your Honor. This trial's purpose is to determine the truth. If Chief Gant met the victim on the day of the crime, then we need to determine one thing. What transpired during that meeting? In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm going to have to ask you for evidence. So as proof that the victim went to meet Chief Gant on the day of the crime.
Is it the, thingy? You know what I'm talking about, right? The thingy, my baba.
This?
Yeah. It says it can only be smashed to chief of police. Of course, they never finished it.
Yeah.
I don't think we've used that yet, though.
Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime.
Or to be more accurate, Jake Marshall stole it.
So Detective Goodman filled out a lost item report. He would have had to give that report to the chief of police.
Yet you're in possession of the report. Which means you can't be sure he filed it.
He filed it. How do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day.
He needed to?
Yes, to transfer the evidence out.
Oh.
Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Gant. Then, you accompanied the detective to the evidence room.
I accompanied him?
There's no other way the murderer and Detective Goodman could have entered the room.
Hold on, let me guess what you're going to say next. I, the chief of police, murdered poor Goodman.
Exactly.
But wait. The chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. He could have just lent him his ID card.
Yes. Now that you mention it, I believe I might have done something of the sort.
Sorry, but that's not possible. According to the record, your card was only used once. Yet you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found on his body.
No!
Did he just go Super Saiyan or something?
Yes. Chief Gant, you didn't! Go Super Saiyan!
The murder was most likely a spur-of-the-moment crime, for no one in their right mind would choose the police department as a place to commit murder. After the murder, you contacted Lana at the prosecutor's office. Why? To dispose of Detective Goodman's body, of course.
You're forgetting, Mr. Wright, that the victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office parking lot. How did he manage to move it there?
I was at the police department the entire day, you know.
And everyone's aware that Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony.
Everyone except me, it seems. Still, you're the chief of police. You have an entire police force at your disposal.
Oh, so you think I'll just order an officer to do it? Hey, you, take this here dead body over to the prosecutor's office. I don't think so.
Chief Gant, you left all the evidence we need to prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. And all this time, I thought it was a useless clue just taking up space.
Now it's time.
I tried to use it earlier, and now I'm gonna use it.
Now it's time for the screwdriver.
How could the chief have moved the body?
With a screwdriver.
Mr. White, show us this evidence.
He used the screwdriver, poked it, and teleported.
To move the victim's body, Chief Gant used this.
He used my attorney's bag.
If you'll check, that handprint is most clearly the chief's.
The handprint's never anything. It's a bad hand.
Yeah, no, you were mixed up on that.
It's so disappointing.
This is how I moved Detective Goodman's body.
What's that? A screwdriver? But what does that have to do with this case?
Mr. Edgeworth, think back to the day of the crime. What is the screwdriver doing here?
It's here because... I was asked to go by Chief Gant, no less. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. After the ceremony ended that day, I didn't plan to return to the prosecutor's office.
But you did, because Chief Gant asked you to.
You mean I?
The body was found in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car.
All because Edgeworth didn't lock his trunk.
I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by that car.
Detective Goldman's body was carried in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car?
Yes, unless, of course, you have another explanation, Chief. Why else would you have asked Mr. Edgeworth to transport evidence from a closed case? There's only one plausible explanation. To transport the body to your accomplice, Ms. Lana Skye.
Order, what's going on here? Is there no room for a rebuttal to the defense's outrageous accusations?
Think back to the photograph Miss Starr took at the prosecutor's office. This was not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away. It was exactly the opposite.
It is a photo of the body being taken from the trunk. Chief Gant, please, say something.
I believe your time's up.
My time's up?
Sorry, Writer, but I'm having lunch with the District Attorney General after this. We have to get going if we're to make it in time for the early bird special.
But the cross-examination isn't finished yet.
Remember what I told you earlier? A police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal.
Weapons?
Like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that right now.
What? There's not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered. So you're going to just run away after all this?
Run away? Don't make me laugh, Worthy. I stabbed good old Goodman, that's what you're saying, right? But if you had any conclusive evidence, you would have presented it by now.
Well,
You think I had Lana dispose of the body? If so, then show your proof and get it over with.
I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Gant is the current chief of police. This court will not tolerate any accusation against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright?
Your Honor?
Do you have a concrete proof? Proof that Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman made Miss Skye dispose of his body?
Do I have any concrete proof?
Do we?
I don't know. That's Emma's prints. That's the list.
I mean, at best we have unfortunate evidence.
Neil, the killings from 2 years ago, the security camera, Marshall's fingerprints, the jar, evidence locker.
No, that's prints on Marshall's locker. Prints have been wiped, I think.
Huh?
That Marshall's prints or prints on Marshall's locker?
This says Marshall's fingerprints.
Oh, I guess it is. I didn't read the name, I just read the description.
Anyway, rubber glove. We haven't used that rubber glove for... Oh, yeah, we did. To point out that that was what happened. Seeing this...
I don't
prove anything. I mean, I guess we can't dust this for prints. Because this is the knife that Goodman stabbed with.
Yeah. Well, he stabbed with Ezra's knife.
But he was originally stabbed with this, wasn't he?
Something like that.
And that's why Lana took it and hid it in the muffler. And then she stabbed him with Edgeworth's knife to make it look... And that doesn't really prove that... Doesn't prove the Chief's involvement just because there's blood on the bottom of the shoe.
Yeah.
Because we know Goodman was killed elsewhere, so...
The phone call doesn't mention Gant at all. I'm not sure if we do have proof. This feels like one of the moments in the game where I might have to let go. Maybe.
Where what?
Where you just have to let it go.
Yeah, because I don't think we have anything concrete. I'm not even sure of myself. No, Your Honor, at present I have no conclusive evidence.
See, Yaji?
In that case, this court is forced to penalize you for your allegations against the Chief.
What?
Here's a tip. Never gamble, but you can't afford to lose, Writo. It seems that Lady Luck was on my side again today. Okay, Algie, I'll leave the rest to you.
I warned you earlier, Mr. Wright. This is an affront to a senior officer in our nation's law enforcement agency.
What? Don't take away my points!
Lady Luck, maybe you should have a word with her. Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean? There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. We haven't yet had the honor of hearing her testimony.
A lady who knows the truth? Another witness?
In the absence of conclusive evidence, the only other method of proof is testimony.
But Chief Gann has invoked his right to refuse to testify.
There's still someone else, one more witness who can answer all the questions raised in this trial, something right in this very room.
Or someone.
Mr. Edgeworth, who is this person? Why are you asking me, Your Honor? Have you forgotten? The defense is the one calling witnesses today. Mr. White, does such a witness exist? I wonder.
She may not be willing to tell the truth, but we can't just stop now. Yes, Your Honor, the defense calls forth.
And the game couldn't do much more than be pulling big red arrows pointing out portrait. Pick this one!
The defendant, Miss Lana Sky.
She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 p.m. on February 21st. Her task, to dispose of the victim's body, in accordance with a certain someone's orders.
Mr. Edgeworth? The prosecution has no objections, Your Honor. Very well. The court will now take its final recess for the day. In 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. This court is now in
Hold on.
Huh? Chief Gat, I thought you were going to eat.
Listen good, Lana.
He's talking to Lana?
I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. White's claims, there'll be terrible consequences.
Bullstrip threatening the defendant?
That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marshall's murder.
This isn't good.
Of course, you never support such outrageous claims anyway, White. Just something to think about.
It's so ridiculously blatant.
Alright then. I've got a lunch date to meet. Fucking fade away.
Well, I'm pretty sure he was threatening the witness. Pretty sure he can be charged for that or whatever, but okay, if there aren't any further objections, this court is now in recess.
Well, thanks for watching this episode of Gabba the Game Night. Like and subscribe. Good chat, VC, and most importantly,
Don't get screwed by the screwdriver.
good night.
Gabba the Game Night, Gabba the Game Night, Gabba the Game Night, yay. Come on and watch him play. Games every other day. If you subscribe now, you won't miss out on any of the action. So come on, click that subscribe button.